Day 18 of the Radio Free Skaro Fluid Links Advent Calendar. This this question comes from Gonzaro on Blue Sky. Directly targeted at us. Before Peter Moffat was tabbed to direct The Five Doctors, JNT wanted Waris Hussein, then Douglas Camfield to direct. If they had been available, which director would the three want to direct The Five Doctors? I mean,
Camfield is my answer every day of the week.
Every day of the week. Oh, but
although
he's
I'm
right
curious
there.
about Waris Hussein and what he would do.
Yeah, I know, because they wanted to say, first episode and 20th anniversary episode. I can see the thing there, and Camfield the most prolific. I don't think I want to say Harper wasn't even through his directing school at that point. I think one of his first directing gigs was Doctor Who.
Okay.
So technically, I'm not sure he would have been around in March of 83. I could be wrong about that. I'm not checking IMDb. Don't add us. But I mean, it's also just the easiest. Obviously, I would say Graham Harper. So just taking him off the table makes it easier. Or more interesting at the very least. I feel like John Nathan Turner has fallen out with Peter Grimwade over the whole schmozzle over the Dalek episode being canceled and Grimwade taking everyone else but Nathan Turner out to lunch to commiserate over the canceled episode, knowing that he was going to take Nathan Turner out on his own after the fact, but JNT overreacted and says, nope, I am never talking to that person again. So that's out. Michael Ferguson.
Aren't you supposed to pick these other two? Or you're just throwing random guys in here?
No, I like which director? I think I'm selecting. I'm selecting like any director at this point.
Oh, okay. I thought the only choices were Hussein and Camfield.
I think we could pick anyone. Like basically, because Moffat was there.
Let's have the question again, maybe.
Before Peter Moffat was tabbed to direct The Five Doctors, JNT wanted Waris Hussein, then Douglas Camfield to direct. And then, I think the question is if they had been available, which director would the three want to direct Doctor? Imagine that JNT goes, okay, Waris Hussein said no, Douglas Camfield said no, please don't make me use Peter Moffat. Can we find another director out there to direct the 20th anniversary story of Doctor Who?
Are we sticking with just contemporaries?
Yes. Yeah, we're not going to say Christopher Nolan's going to come back in time and direct.
Quentin Tarantino's going to make a Star Trek movie.
Yeah, it's going to be anything like that.
Well, I'm just thinking what kind of pap we would have gotten if it was like Ron Jones at the helm.
Oh, God. I mean, Peter Moffat was basically bigger budget Ron Jones, let's face it, at that time. He got stuff done. Get stuff in the can. Get him in there.
Who did Earthshock? Was that Greenwade?
That was Grimwade, yeah. And he's so that bridge is burned. Just assume that Grimwade is that bridge gone. He's one of the most talented directors of the 1980s. Out.
You guys know a lot more about who directed what than I do, so.
That's right. We can help you.
It's kind of he came about after this, but Chris Clough is director.
Why Chris Clough? Chris, I'm so curious.
Why not?
Okay. Just because?
Yeah, sure. Just because. Why not?
I know we can't pick Graham Harper, but I wouldn't want him to do this anyway because this would be too much to throw at the guy if he's just starting out.
That's true. It's like, hey, welcome back. Welcome to Doctor Who and indeed directing for TV in general. Here's the 20th anniversary story.
Sidney Newman.
Get
it all wrong.
Never direct. I'll tell you what. Here's my pick, since I feel like we're coming around on him. Not on his skill or anything like that, but there's never been a bigger gulf, I think, between ambition and skill when it comes to directors of Doctor Who than Richard Martin. And I think it would be funny to have Richard Martin come back since he directed the first Dalek story. He could direct the Five Doctors, and having like now we have the technology has sort of caught up with your ambition, and maybe you can manage to shoot. You can maybe cut between different cameras and stuff as opposed to having all four actors appear in one big giant wide shot. And maybe you can afford to not shoot offset, and so you can see other sets in the studio in literally every single story you've ever made. Maybe we could do that for you, Richard Martin. But I think I don't know when he stopped directing at that point, so maybe that's not the best one.
How about one that's of that time frame? and we actually like.
Okay.
So let's say the shooting schedules get all mixed up, and he can no longer do Warriors of the Deep, but Penn and Roberts can come back and
Roberts. Oh, God, no.
But Penn and Roberts is available for the Five Doctors.
Pennant Roberts, eh? Poor Pennant Roberts. Pennant Roberts' last 3 stories for Doctor Who are in reverse order: Time Lash, Warriors of the Deep, and Shada.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not the most hard luck end of a Doctor Who?
Bad luck.
Then,
Who did Hand of Fear?
that was Lenny Mayne.
Lenny
He was
Mayne.
dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, unfortunately. Because despite the many problems with Hand of Fear, I think the direction is kind of cool in a lot of it. So
Yeah, no, he had died in 1977, sadly. So he's what about? Oh, I mean, David Maloney is right there. Why not David Maloney?
Oh yeah,
Right? I think
That's
that's
a
the
good one.
one. I think that's the one. I mean, he had stopped working on Doctor Who to produce Blake 7, but that was done by then.
Mm-hmm.
Come back, direct Doctor Who for the 20th anniversary.
yeah. Certainly had some strong stories in this heyday.
Yeah.
at least.
just side note, I don't like hearing 20th anniversary because it reminds me we just had the 60th, and that makes me feel very old.
And keep in mind, of course, Bernard Horsfall would have had to have been cast in the Five Doctors.
That's true. He would have had to
if
have been
if Maloney was there.
Maybe he would have been. Then they would have cast him as Barusa. And,
Or Rassilon.
No.
He'd be much less
No.
embarrassing than Mutton Chops
Barusa.
Rassilon.
That's true.
He would need a meteor role. He would need Barusa.
You'd be Barusa, and then everyone would go, wait a second, is Goth Barusa? And then we'd still be like debating, wait a minute, was Barusa Goth and Goth Barusa the whole time? And then we'd still be talking about that crazy plot twist to this day.
The shippers would have Goth Rusa threads on AO3.
Yeah. Oh, the fanfic would just go wild and stuff. Yeah. Goth Barusa. Well, there's a lot of talented directors out there, and none of them are really named Peter Moffat. Although Peter you know what? Actually, instead of Peter Moffat, maybe we could have got Peter Moffat to direct it, aka his stage name of Peter Davison. What if Peter Davison directed the Five Doctors? Because he directed the Five-ish Doctors in 30 years' time.
Well, he did, yeah.
And you're at about the point in the lead actor's career that he can start calling shots about things.
Right?
So he just, in a fit of pique, demands, much unlike his persona as the Doctor, to direct the Five Doctors.
I think that would have been perfect. So Peter Davison, under the pseudonym of Peter Moffat, directs it, but not that Peter Moffat. Maybe he did it the whole time. Maybe he already directed it and we just don't know because he went by his actual name of Peter Moffat and not the director Peter Moffat. Think about it.